Hey babes, are you a broke college student with literally only $5 in your bank account? Let me tell you something. The reason you're broke is because of you, not because you're poor. If you're in your 20s, trust me, this is the best time to develop good money habits. Good financial habits will significantly impact you for the long run. Do you care about your financial well-being? If so, watch this entire video. I went from being a broke college student to being richer than my ex's entire family. So if you want to be like me, keep watching this video because these are all the things that I did and all of these things work for me. And I know if you're young, if you're stupid and dumb young like I was back in the day, you would probably think like, oh my goodness, like this ain't gonna work, but it works. I didn't know it worked until I actually gave it a shot. So trust me when I say this, all of these things will significantly impact your financial well-being. You will go from being a broke college student to being literally Elon Musk's competitor. Alright, let's stop the exaggerating. Let's get serious. So let's get into the video right away. Number one, create a budget. One mistake that I see a lot of your college students do is not have a budget. It doesn't matter if you're poor or you're rich, you need to have a good budget. If you think that you're too rich to have a budget, you're wrong. Trust me, rich people, financially stable and financially responsible people have budgets. You know who do not have budgets? Broke people. Because they do not know where their money is coming from, where their money is going out to. That's the biggest mistake you could ever do. Always have a financial budget. So every month I want you to set a financial budget because establishing a budget is crucial when it comes to managing your finances effectively. It'll help you track your spendings, prioritize your expenses, save for the future, and help you reach your financial goals. I want you to take a piece of paper, write down how much income you're getting per month. Then I want you to write all of your needs. That means rent, utilities, how much you need for groceries, transport. And then I want you to write your wants, like going out with your friends, restaurants, coffee. And I want you to use this chart over here and categorize your money into this. Trust me, creating a budget will help you. I used to think that creating a budget is for losers, like I don't need it. I know exactly where my money is going. I know exactly where my money is coming from in my head. But trust me, it is not that effective. So trust me when I say this, creating a budget, establishing a budget will help you. Number two, save and start investing early. Building a habit of saving and investing your money early in your life can lead to substantial accumulation of wealth over time. Every single month, aim to save a portion of your income, whether it's for retirement, whether it's for emergency, whether it's for a financial goal that you have, whether it's something you want to buy. Save money. Make it a habit. Trust me, once you develop the habit of saving money, even if it's like $1, you are ahead of others once you start developing that habit. Trust me, I used to think saving $1, like there's no difference between $1 or $2. There's literally no point of saving $1. But imagine you do that every single time, and if you actually collect all of the dollars that you missed out on, that's almost like $1,000. So do not ever just put away $1. I used to think that way and I was like, what's the point of having $1? But then ever since I started counting even my dollar and saving that dollar, babes. In addition to that, another way of saving is investing. It could be investing in stocks, mutual funds, or your retirement. It's never too early to start your retirement plan. If you start saving right now in your 20s, you'll be able to retire when you're 40 or 50. It all depends on you. Imagine you're in your mid 40s and you're like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to work anymore. But you can easily and happily leave your freaking job and stay at home for the rest of your life because you know that you start your retirement plan and your retirement goal when you were in your 20s. If you do not know how to do stocks, if you do not know how to do mutual funds and all those things, literally YouTube is free. Go to YouTube, learn about those things, or invest in a course that will teach you every single thing about it, and you can start investing. Investing and trading is literally the hype right now. People have been going from broke to rich literally within weeks and months because they invested their time and energy into learning, and then boom, all of a sudden they're rich. Number three, avoid debt. I understand debt is kind of important, especially things like mortgage or student loans. Sometimes it's unavoidable, I understand. But it is important to minimize it and manage it effectively. Avoid accumulating high interest debt from credit cards or personal loans whenever possible. First of all, I would recommend you to never get a credit card. I know people are going to be like, oh, you need to build your credit score and stuff like that, but don't. Listen, one way that I stay financially responsible and stable is by not getting a credit card. Because I know that people think that a credit card is invisible money, but it is already your money. That's what we think, but it's not. A lot of people fall into debt because of this, because of invisible money. Credit cards are a scam. Do not get a credit card, especially for basic things like getting the new Birkin or getting a new Louis Vuitton bag or going out with your friends, getting the new iPhone 15 Pro Max. Absolutely not. If you need a credit card urgently, because you're broke and you have no other way, it is urgent, I completely understand, but if it's anything other than that, you absolutely do not need a credit card. And if you have existing debt, I want you to work on saving money and focusing on getting rid of that debt in the first place. Number one rule of being financially stable and responsible is staying out of debt. But if you want to be financially responsible because you have been irresponsible the past few years, you are going to change it today by paying off all the debts. Even if you will financially struggle the next 3 months, finish debt first. Finish paying off all your debt. Number 4, educate yourself about personal finance. This is a huge problem, especially in brown families. Our parents are not very educated when it comes to personal finances, how to handle finances, because they do not educate themselves about this and they do not teach their children. All they do is literally just save money. That's it. That's all they do. But it's really important as adults, as the new generation, it's really important that we learn about finances. It's really important that we learn about personal finances, how to handle them, how to be financially stable. So take the time to learn about personal finance topics such as investing, taxes, retirement planning, because these concepts will literally empower you to make informed decisions when it comes to your other financial decisions. And it'll set you up to long-term success. Literally, you do not have to waste any amount of money. YouTube is free. Just go on to YouTube, learn about finances, learn how to do all of these things like I explained earlier in this video. It is free. Number 5, build an emergency fund. I learned this the hard way. I want you to know that you will not always be financially stable. You will not always be rich. Always have an emergency fund, even if you are loaded. Okay, even if you're rich, have an emergency fund of 6 months. Unexpected expenses can rise at any time. You never know. So having an emergency fund is essential. Aim to set aside at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. That means money that is enough to cover your food, groceries, basic needs like sanitary pads, if you get sick. At least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses should be covered. You should have those in your emergency fund. Just in case, you never know what's gonna happen. God forbid you might lose your job tomorrow. God forbid inflation happens. You never know what's going on in the world. You never know what's gonna happen to you. Always have an emergency fund so that you have a safety net to fall onto if something ever goes wrong. Number 6, live below your means. This is so important, especially if you're young and you start touching money for the first time. I went through this. I was a broke college student and then all of a sudden I started getting so much money that I did not know how to handle it, and I would waste all of my money literally like this, and then I would always gain money until I got fucked in the ass for doing that. Always live below your means. Avoid temptation to overspend simply because you have it, simply because you have the means to do so. Living below your means will allow you to save more money for your future and avoid financial stress during really bad times. Live below your means, like you do not have to get the new Tesla just because you have the perfect amount in your bank account. Here's one thing that I heard on the internet, which is great advice. When you want to buy something expensive, ask yourself, can you buy that same thing 2 times? For example, if you're going to buy the new iPhone 15, can you buy 2 more of it? If the answer is no, that means you do not need to buy it. But if the answer is yes, then go ahead. Number 7, plan for retirement. I mentioned this earlier in this video, but this is a serious topic. If you're in your 20s or even in your late 30s, it doesn't matter. Always have a retirement plan. It's never too early to start saving for retirement. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have. A lot of people, especially the old generation, they start their retirement plans when they reach the age of 50. But you have the opportunity. We have learned from the people who are older than us. We learned from the old generation that we have to start our retirement plan early. If you want to live a rich, peaceful and a life with freedom without financial burdens, you need to start saving up early so that you have enough money when you're going to retire. Imagine saving up from this moment onwards until you're 50 years old. Imagine how much money you have accumulated. You will be living lavishly when you're 70, 80 years old. Imagine that. Number 8, set financial goals. Whether it's for buying a house, starting a business, buying a car, whatever it is, set financial goals. If you want to collect $10,000 by the end of this year, start by the first 6 months collecting just $1,000 every single month. You will have $6,000 within the first 6 months. By the end of the year, if you continue to do so, you will have $1,200. What? $12,000. $1,200. Imagine that. Number 9, the last one is read financial books. Like these over here. These are great books that'll help you with your understanding when it comes to finances, how to build wealth, how to build generational wealth. If you come from a poor family, if you come from being poor your entire life, you have the means to change that. You can change it. Trust me, all you need is the right motivation and dedication to do so. So yeah, anyways, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!